there was times when I was trying in that entire time that to stop, knew that I had a problem and stop, and did stop. One of those times, which is why when we finally get to talking about this, which is the Bill Goldberg match, I remember very, very well, because for 7 weeks prior to that, I had gone cold turkey on all the drugs. And so I remember that night very well. Unfortunately, which is again is another show, after that match, because I'll say this much, I did as I was told by the person in charge of that match. This has all got twisted. Bill's got a different views. The Goldberg match.
Yes, sir.
I felt like I got thrown under the bus by the producer in charge of it. That's his story to tell. I have told this story again. This is going to be another podcast. I have told this story. You can find this the same story from me over and over and over again, and it never changes. And I have yet to name that person. If he would open up and admit to his part in that, you would see my side of it very differently. Because I spoke to him recently and said, look, do you think it's about time that you actually own, you know, it's not owning up to it, but you said that you were part of this story, because I've never dropped your name in it, because that's the kind of person I am. I take things on the chin, right? I got fired from WCW a week after, the night of the Bill Goldberg situation, because I wasn't mad at Bill in any way. I wasn't mad at Eric in any way. I was mad at the person who was the producer who didn't own up to his bit of it. And when you are heavily into your drugs, you don't need a lot of excuses to go back on them again. So I'd been off them for a while, and I was so frustrated that night, because as I came out from the match with Bill, Eric, there was a lack of communication in WCW. Eric didn't know what had happened. He came out screaming at me. I took it on the chin, with the exception of me saying, which has been quoted a few times, Eric, I can't hit myself, because that's really what happened. But again, it's a different story for a different time. I just took it on the chin. I didn't say, well, this producer here told me to you know, I left him out of it, and I've always left him out of it. It's about time he just, if he just tell that story, that would put and the reason I'd like this storytelling, whether Bill wants to listen to this or not, I have sent different messages through close acquaintances of both myself and Bill's. So I don't know if they're telling Bill or Bill's just not getting back to me. But I've offered to sit with him and watch the match, because if you sit and watch it, and I also, with the caveat of, you bring somebody who you trust, who knows about professional wrestling, to watch this match, and then see where I'm supposedly taking liberties with you. Because all it is me trying to get you through a match that I was told to have a 6-minute match, and a certain, like, a more competitive match. But again, I don't want to give this story away.
Well, we're definitely going to talk about Goldberg at some point.
So, but that night, it was El Paso. I went to Eddie Guerrero's mom's house, and somebody offered me some pills. I was feeling sorry for myself, and that started me back on taking pills again. And I got fired from WCW the week later. I didn't know that. I'm not sure of the time frame. But you say we wrestled the Steiners. Well, that would have been just another, you know, I always enjoyed wrestling them. So it was always good wrestling them. Me and Dave, I get on with both of them.